Welcome, everybody. This is going to be the first episode of The Great Hall. That's a name in progress. I'm here with Kietso, does YouTube, and Soter Dave, who also does YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about a few things. One thing, the expansion of Chivalry 2 and Slashers as a whole. We're going to get their input on how they started out with content creation and where they're going to go, so forth. So, Kietso, can you tell us a little bit of how you started with YouTube content creation?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
All right. So, by the way, thank you for having me. Love it here. Hi, Dave. Late ass motherfucker. So I would say I started off. Actually, I started off playing this game called Escape from Tarkov.
Mhm.
Now, that wasn't my true passion. I think medieval games my entire life. I've been so like just. I just love it. I love medieval games. I love. When Skyrim first came out, I mean that was like I, that was my best chance to get into like actually slashing. Same with Shiv 1. Um and I loved the heck out of them, but I never thought I'd be able to make content out of it, you know? So I stuck with Tarkov for the longest time and I streamed on Twitch like almost every day. Hated it. Hated streaming Tarkov because like it's a very toxic community and it's a very horrible gameplay loop, especially if you have a full-time job. So then eventually I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna screw it. Whoops. Oh, are we allowed to? Are we allowed to?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
swear.
cool,
You
cool.
can swear.
So
Yeah,
so
yeah, you're fine. You can swear.
fuck it. No. So we I decided to switch to um Chivalry 2 because when it released, I was just so having such a blast. I thought it was a amazing game. I took the leap of faith and made a few videos on it, and eventually some of them blew up, and now we're here. And I love Shiv 2. Well, okay, it's like an ex girlfriend. I kind of love Shift too. I also hate their guts because of our past, and plus Torn Banner's like the side bitch that doesn't want to do anything and help out. But yeah, here we are.
Hell yeah. Well spoken. Dave, how about
I don't know
yourself?
about
I decided to begin content creation when I realized that there is a big, not a content drought on Shift 2, but an information drought. Um, I focus mainly on making like tutorials and guides, I would say, compared to the other guys who make like, I don't know, content that you actually want to watch. And I made that mainly because I noticed that compared to most other competitive games, our average like competitive player doesn't know much about the game, or at least not comparatively to other games. So I basically just wanted to make videos that would inform people on the different mechanics and like idiosyncrasies of the combat mechanics, the functions of the game, and how they work and everything. And when I started making videos, people were like, "Wow, I never knew this," and they said that en masse. So I knew that something was right, and I just kept on making videos like that.
I do remember when I first started watching, when I first started playing Shiv, I saw your videos, like, who the fuck is this Soter Dave guy? And your videos, like, honestly helped me a lot, try to figure out shit, because nobody would help me with anything when I first started playing. And it helped a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Um,
Oh, I forgot. I also use my channel to cross-reference to my coaching as a sort of way to get more customers for that. So
for
that's another
sure.
reason.
What is your link? Go ahead and say it, sir. I'll have it linked.
mfy.gg/@dave.
Go check
that's
that
a
out.
staple link. That
It
is
is a
a
link in the
meme.
community.
That's a meme link now. I hope we understand that. It's awesome. It's a
Yeah.
popular link.
I've seen a lot of people using that name as their actual username in the game. Um, where do y'all see the chivalry going in the near future? Once private servers come out, once everything's up and going,
I got a
Where,
hot
where do
take
y'all
on
see
that
that?
one. I
Go
don't know if
go
Dave
ahead,
wants to
go
go
ahead.
first, but
Whichever one of
You
y'all.
can go. You can go.
oh Jesus! All right, so my personal opinion at the current state of the game and the rate they're coming out with these updates, I would say it it's on a downhill at the moment. People tell me that it's static, and I get that the statistics show that Shiv 2 has a static player base, but it's typically the same people you're gonna see on that'll stay on for like years. Just like how the Mordhau community has like the same 50 people playing every day. It's the same with Shiv too. And there's gonna be a few new people coming in and out. But I think eventually in the near future it's gonna go down. When private servers come out, it's gonna go up from like maybe a little bit, but because of the rate at which content is coming out, and the content that they're coming out with, Mont Crux, Boo. Let's talk about the Bridgetown map.
Yeah.
It was absolutely short. So the last good update was I think Stronghold. I
Big
think
stronghold.
I think it's gonna go on a downhill, and that's only because the updates aren't coming out fast enough. And I think the Torn Banner, as not developers, but even as like community managers, they're not doing a whole lot, in my opinion. Not enough events either. So that's just my opinion.
I can agree with you on that. The updates I've been seeing are more cosmetic, and from what I've heard, that these items and skins have always been in the game and just are being released like kind of like dog treats. Like it's like you're giving it to the community at a fair pace that you think they want it. In my honest opinion, I feel like the community drives this game more than the actual content. Like if the community dies, like specifically the comp community, because that's where I see the most people at. You have all these people grouped up in clans or guilds, all coming together to enjoy a game they love to play. But if the game's not giving out what they want or what the stuff they need to continue driving themselves, it's just gonna fall off in like say a month or two. Because there's games coming out that honestly are better. And with upcoming slashers coming out, I think one of them like is Enshrouded that I think Kieto you've been playing. Um, I'm trying to think of some others. I know there's one Blight coming out soon. I'm not sure when that's being dropped, but all those upcoming slashers that Torn Banner is going to have to cooperate with and try to compete with. What's your take on this, Mr. Dave?
Torn Banner doesn't have to compete with any of them at all.
Doesn't?
No. Torn Banner hits the niche of big medieval battles, and nobody will ever beat them ever. So, I mean, it's at least not in recent time. Nobody will ever beat them. They are the best at what they do. As much as I think that they're stupid / malicious, they are the best at it, and they deserve the crown because they simply are the most talented when it comes to that specific niche of big medieval battles. But I'm going to answer your question. So you said, where do you see Chivalry going? Where do I see Chivalry going? Post mortem, I don't think they're working on it. Since development, they've grown to like 6 times their size as a studio, from like 20 something developers to 150, if you could believe that. They have 150 employees. Ever since the game has dropped, they have not increased development speed whatsoever. We've only gotten one quality of life update ever in the entire history of this 2.5 year long live service development for the video game. That being Galencourt, which added Arena and LTS. And since then, we have never gotten a quality of life update ever. Ever. I cannot express that enough. We've never gotten one. Only content updates. Despite our constant whining and begging, we do not get anything we want ever, and that is unfortunate. And like I said, development has not sped up. So where do I see Chivalry going? I see Chivalry kind of just stagnating. Every now and then they'll throw us a bone that we don't even want, right? It's the wrong color and the wrong size and the wrong animal. But they throw the bone, and then they'll probably whine that we're being greedy, and it is what it is. Moon will throw a pity party, and that'll go as it is. And then eventually they'll announce a totally different game in a different genre that nobody asked for, and be proud of it.
I would like to add on to his point of 120 developers. Yeah, I think only like
150.
150. Sorry, make it even worse. Only like probably like 5 of them are working on it, right? And I from a developer standpoint, or like a business standpoint, mind you, I 100% think they're not doing wrong to themselves. They're doing wrong to the community, and not in the sense of like it's personal, right? I mean, I think if you think about it, to come out with content that's like free, after you've bought it's not really free, but you know what I mean. Like you buy the game and then you get all this content, these updates, to continue getting that, and then not getting like the return on it, right? So you spend all this time making this thing, and then like it's not a payable DLC. What money are you gonna make besides the new people that want to hop on and play that new content, which is not that many people compared to like, just there's not as much money being brought
I see,
in.
I
And
see what you're saying.
yeah, there's like from their standpoint, in a sense, I guess we are kind of greedy, and which is fine. It's just we as a community probably expected a little more from these updates.
I don't think we are greedy. We ask for the same things every time, and we've asked for them for years, and we never get them.
Well,
We
when you
never like. How can I say this? We don't ever change what we ask for. We ask for the same three things: private servers, ranked, mod support. It never changes. It never has changed. It's been the same since release, and they've never made any progress on those three things. And they consistently uh, disregard those three things. And so it's like there's a ton of other criticisms like, oh, this map isn't good, these armor sets are shit, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that. Most of us are actually quite generous. We think that the maps are fun and we buy the battle passes and we shut up and enjoy the content updates that they release, the weapons that they release, whether we like them or not, because, you know, that stuff is subjective, but it's not subjective the fact that they just disregard our actual requests, our actual like desires on how they can make the game better. I've said it a million times. We want the game to be better, not bigger, but they don't want that. They want the game to be bigger. You know, when they boast on social media about how what they've done so far, they're like, we made the game twice as much content. Who cares?
well, hold on. The reason why I say who cares, that's the thing. Like a majority of normal, like the people we're talking about, or that you're talking about, Dave, are like, I'm pretty sure they're more like veterans of the game, right? That are like actually solidified into the community.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say
So
that.
typically, the newer person, a person that is like first coming in to this game, is gonna want that bigger, the more content, rather than private servers, so the professionals can, stab each other repeatedly and with major skill.
I would agree with you for the most part, but that strategy only works if you have a good foundation for your game. So the just shit out content strategy works when everything else is settled, right? So if our game had all the features of Chivalry 1, then they could do exactly what they're doing now and no one would have any room to complain, right?
Okay.
But they don't. So if I can't even invite my friend to a lobby and host a little private gaming session with my boys, how in the world can we argue that we need brawl mode? Like
No one's arguing that. There's no fucking way.
the priorities are so out of whack. It's insane. And I mean, it just shows in the player retention. So they can appeal to the common Joe who plays the game an hour a month as much as they want. But at the end of the day, he's moving on to the finals. He's moving on to Elden Ring 2. He's moving on to whatever else is going to rip him from Chivalry, because at the end of the day, he doesn't care for the combat or like lore or any whatever it may be as much as you and I do. So he's not tied to this game. And as much as I love Chivalry, it's not that amazing of a game. It's only amazing if you're incredibly infatuated with its combat, its graphics, its jokes, its lore, its maps. But if you're not that infatuated with it and you just play it as a video game, then all the other video games start to compete with it. And you may be like, oh, these video games are different. They're not competing with Chivalry. They are, unfortunately. Most gamers aren't tied to one specific genre. So when Modern Warfare 3 comes out, yeah, they're jumping off Chivalry to go play Modern Warfare 3. And
Yeah.
maybe not Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3.
maybe not.
Booty
Maybe not.
cheeks.
I don't know if you remember the release of Elden Ring, but no one was playing Chivalry.
Amazing. That was
No one was playing Chivalry. Everyone was off.
Yeah,
and that's
so
like, bro.
that they just honestly, if it'll make it better, if they need to just make some of these DLCs like, hi baby, if they need to make some of these DLCs, you know, dare I say, like with the paywall. If it makes the
They're never
develop,
going to do that. They're never going to
and
do that.
if they don't do that, good on them. But if it helps the development of the game, if it helps making these um bigger content releases come out faster or better, if it
It's
helps.
never been an issue of money. You can't hire 120 developers if you don't have money. That's not how that works.
No, no, but I think they hired 120 developers more, not for Shiv 2, but for a different game, as we were talking about before.
Yeah, and that's bad.
That's the bad part. If they could allocate more money and expect more of a profit from Shiv 2, that would probably end up boosting the development speed or of the content. And
I
then,
don't see why they wouldn't expect a profit, because let's just say your game was amazing, the battle passes would make more. And from a shareholder perspective, it seems like a more financially viable strategy to farm the millions of people on your live service title rather than try and make a new game. And then
are there millions of people?
2 million sales in total.
Well,
Obviously, they
hold
all
on.
left.
Oh yeah, they like I think majority of them have left by now.
Yeah,
I
they wouldn't have if the game if the
I know,
game was bad.
That's exactly, yeah. If well, I think they would have stuck around if more content came out. It's like
Yeah, I'm saying they must have made this determination to abandon their game
I like
a
the
long
gameplay.
time ago. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't get me wrong. The gameplay loop is, I think it's actually fine. I feel like
I agree.
for a normal person, it's actually a very fun gameplay loop. It's just
Torn Banner got very lucky in that the stuff that is very difficult to make from most studios, they have perfected. And that's why I say that they're incredibly talented and that they're wasted potential. They have great graphics, they have great music, they have great sound design, they have great combat, they have they have okay maps, and they
you
they they
paused.
they
Hmm.
they have all of these things, and I'll even say they have good armor design. I mean, when a lot of
They
people
do.
say the opposite, a lot of people say like, "Oh no, these armor sets are bad," and I'm like, they look fine, and they have all of these things, and then they fail on the simple stuff, like no private servers. You're telling me private servers take 3 years? That's just a lie. That's an absolute lie. I worked in the server hosting industry. I know that they don't take 3 years. I know they take a month with one developer. They could do it in a month. It, it's insane. So it's just like they fail, and it seems like they're failing on purpose for reasons that we can't understand, and of course they'll never tell us.
Do you think that they're building a new either a new game entirely, or do you think they're going to go for a new slasher, like a Chivalry 3 possibly?
Many people believe that they're entering a new genre with their next title. um I don't know why.
I think I
I
can.
just okay.
I feel like as a development team and as like a, again, like a business model, the medieval slasher genre, it's not the biggest genre. It's not like you can capitalize as much as you can on the niche, but the issue is there's gonna be like a cap. There's gonna be a cap on how many consistent players you're gonna have on that niche. And yeah, some new players will come in, buy it, play it for like 2 hours, then move on. Um, and then you have people like us where we consistently play this game and buy the battle pass and we'll buy everything that they throw at us just to, make the game better. The niche of a medieval slasher though, compared to like a first person shooter, or you see a lot of days like Dead by Daylight, themed games or battle royale stuff like that. Um, it's hard to compete with that population.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, Kietzo. If you make it to where people can't do anything besides play your game casually, then they will only play your game casually.
Yeah.
If you give them the opportunity and the tools to possibly play your game differently, then you might be surprised. So we can't complain that the game has no modding community when we don't let them mod. We can't complain that it has no competitive scene when we don't let them compete. It's the same thing. So like I said, I believe they shoot themselves in the foot. I believe they purposefully limit themselves because Chivalry 2, on paper, had more appeal than Chivalry 1. In reality, it didn't. But on paper it sold more, and in general had wider appeal.
Yeah, and you had like so many big wigs, playing the like, I think Asmongold like even like so a lot of big creators played the game for a little time. It's just that there was nothing as a casual player for them. I don't think there's much like they didn't see much to the game besides just walking around slashing people, committing absolute atrocious murders on noobs.
That's what they show, and that's fine. It's just, if they give them a reason to stay, then they
Exactly,
might stay.
exactly. Those big people would end up staying, but they had the bag. They had every opportunity to
I
advertise and
remember
capitalize on
watching
it.
some of the biggest Dark and Darker streamers playing Chivalry 2 because Dark and Darker wasn't playable for a few months, in between its alpha and its alpha release. And this guy got on and he was playing it and he was having fun, and then he was just like, "This game is dog shit," and
What the
he's like,
heck?
and he because he just unlocked the master's cut, right, the haircut, and he was like, after all that leveling, I get a fucking haircut.
Yeah.
And he was like, "This game is dog shit. There's no reason to fight in this game." He said, "I get nothing for fighting." And I was like, "That's a good point. You get nothing. The game doesn't give you a reason to
There's no
play it."
like, there's not really
Yeah.
like a progression level. Oh, there's progression, but not in the sense of like unlocking anything or
It's more
achieving anything.
cosmetic.
It's more of a
Yeah,
cosmetic. And
unfortunately, right? Gamers, to an extent, as much as people say otherwise, they actually do kind of care about serious gaming experiences, right? How Dark and Darker was way more popular than Chivalry, way more popular, and it's basically a glorified asset flip. But because it has loot, it was infinitely popular with every streamer. So you see, it's really not that hard. If you give people an experience worth staying for, they might actually stay.
Well, some topics I wanted to touch on, if y'all care that I stray away from this specific topic. Um, what, how do y'all see? Because I know Kietso, you're mainly do archery combat in the game. Like that's your big thing, and you play engineer a lot. Dave, you're a rapier menace. Like I see your videos just sitting there ducking people's shit. How do you how do you incorporate what you make on YouTube into how you why I'm holding that? How do you, I'm getting tongue twisted. Hold up. How you incorporate what you make on YouTube on how you do in game? Like how do you self promote yourselves in game via either playing the game normally with the boys or making a video? How do you go about certain things with that?
You can go first, Kietsu.
so, if I'm understanding the question correctly, right? It's you're asking like, how do I make the content, like the process of like
Yeah,
what?
what's your process on like do you clip stuff? Do you like record a full like lobby? Do you like
Okay. So yeah, how I do it is me and Dave obviously have different like types of content.
yeah
Um, Dave has more instructional videos. Granted, he can easily make um, you know, similar to my videos where it's just like you have a method, you have a a goal or something you want to just execute and showcase and just absolutely mess around with it. How I do it is Um, yeah, I come up with that method. I think like, hey, so I'm gonna be an archer today, and I'm gonna absolutely just terrorize these low level players and make them hate me. I typically don't invite people along unless like they have the intent of making the content with me. Um, like for example, like me and Dave did a video together with the intent purpose of like playing every single map in one run. I I do it. I and how I record it too. It's not that I clip everything because I think that takes so much work. I just leave the record button on, and I keep mental notes in my head after like the 2 hours of my gameplay in each clip. Like, oh, I did this here, or I did this here, and it was pretty funny. And I love that. I want that in my video, and then I start cutting everything down, and a lot of the time because of the amount of people I see in these TO lobbies especially, it doesn't lack for content, and it's for some funny people. And how I got my name about is it's not that I didn't really like advertise like, hey guys, watch this video in these like general chats, right? I did what Dave hates me doing, which is put YT in my name for the longest time. And it did work. I don't know why he says it didn't. It did work. The YT did. If now though, now I don't think I need to put YT in my name. I could just put Kietso and I'll be fine. But at the beginning, putting YT in my name, definitely, I think it got me some views too. So as for the entire process and how long it takes, I think like because I work a lot, it takes about like a week and a week and a half for me to get all the footage and edit it down. Um, but yeah, I mean that's my process. Just have a goal for the video, have an idea, execute it in the most janky way possible, and try to farm some lol cows, I guess, in the Shiv community for sucking. That's piss people off. The goal typically is piss people off. And people get so mad. I love it. I love it. I'm a dickhead. Not gonna lie. All right, go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Dave.
I have a quite different way of promoting myself. So whenever someone challenges me to a first to 10, um, I basically, well, first I'll ask them for money if they lose, and they always say I'm not giving you money if I lose. I'm like, okay, fine. You're gonna change your in-game name to a link to my channels, and they're like, okay, and then they lose the first to 10, and then their name in game is my channel, and it actually does work. It does
Wait,
bring people over.
I'm one question. Is that why people are named your link to your
Yes.
coaching?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they lost.
Yeah.
God
Those
damn
are
it.
those are victims, so to speak. And I mean, it actually works. It actually brings quite a decent amount of people
Fuck, that's so
to
good.
me. So, yeah, that's actually the only form of promotion that I do, really.
God damn.
So
Holy shit.
What's your process of making a video, Dave? Like, how do you like, come up with?
okay. So, I have a few different styles of video, and I usually just copy them over the format to make another version of them. So, the first videos I started making, I basically took my coaching sessions of when I was coaching people, cut out like a 3 to 5 minute clip out of the hour or two that I thought was the most informative, the most helpful, and then give it a title that's pretty related to the topic, post it. Very little editing required, very minimal editing, and then people just find it useful because they actually find it useful. So, for example, one of my first videos, I was with a student talking about how to deal with fast weapons, right? Because he has trouble dealing with fast weapons. Cut out the 3 to 5 minute clip where I'm explaining and demonstrating how to deal with them. Post it on YouTube, title How to Deal with Fast Weapons, and rinse and repeat for a bunch of other coaching sessions with a bunch of other related topics. In fact, Torn Banner actually posted one of my stuff on their social media. I was pretty happy
Shit.
about that.
Oh, hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
thought it was cool. Um, and so I thought, okay, people are enjoying this. It's helping them, and that's what I like because I really just want to make sure that the noobs out there like know how to improve. I can't make them improve, but I can show them how to improve. The biggest problem in this genre is that noobs don't understand what to do to get better, and that makes it frustrating. So as long as they understand how to get better, they'll probably get better, and that's what the videos are for.
Where do
But
you... Go ahead,
go ahead.
sorry. No,
Okay.
no, no.
The next videos, I guess, are just like tutorials. I usually go over a technique or a weapon and explain in depth everything there is to know about it, verbatim. Same thing with the subclass guides, just explain every little aspect of the subclass and how it works. And then I just do that. And those work really well. Like the Steve Dodge video, explain exactly what it is, how Steve made it, why he does it, blah, blah, blah. And then that's it. And some people will say, wow, this was so helpful. Some people will say this video was worthless. Why'd you make it? It's simply just for the sake of transparency. There's no other content creators who make content on competitive gameplay and like, the nuances of it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And that's how I make it. I try and just inform.
Dave, where do you draw the line between a noob and an actually good player? Where do you think that line starts, or where do you think it ends?
If you can counter at all consistently, you are a good player.
Okay.
If you can't, then I still consider you a noob.
Well, I'm
Um,
fucked.
If you can counter consistently, like you see an attack coming and you do a counter input and it works most of the time being above 50%, then you are a good player. If you can't do that, that's fine. I don't consider you a shitter, but I do consider you a noob.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
One thing I wanted to touch on is uh I know I've been in the community maybe a year, maybe a year and a half overall. And I've noticed a lot of these tournaments going on, like you have the trial by blood, trial by short, NCL, MFL. Do y'all think that as a whole brings more people to the community, or do you think that strips away the competitive side of the community with the casual side? Because most of the people I see in there are either in guilds and stuff like that in the competitive community more so than the actual casual community.
Dual tournaments definitely are not very attractive to new players. But like small scale tournaments like LTS, 3v3, 2v2, 5v5, those actually are pretty attractive to new players. And I see like new faces that have never signed up for things or I've never fought them before show up. So, um, I've had a lot of people say to me, like, oh, this is my first tournament when I go up against them in those team based tournaments. But in a dual tournament, it's always the same faces. So,
I will say, like, I know we touched on Torn Banner not doing a great job at building the community from what it already is, and building up on top of like that unity. But like in order for us as a community to keep it going, these tournaments and all these events that people are doing, like for example the front lines or tournament grounds, stuff like that, it helps with the community I think immensely, bringing them together and making it competitive. Because if Torn Banner's not going to do it, someone has to, right? Um, and I think what needs to be done better about that whole the dueling, the 3v3s, the small scale TOs that Dave hosts, and such like that. I think for the way we should be doing it is getting all those noobs that we're talking about and letting them know like, hey, this is a thing. Like if you wanna continue, like if you wanna add something new to Shiv, you wanna like have more of a community based event or have more fun, join up on these events. They're open. Like you join this Discord server, and you get all these things happening. That's all you have to do, and that would add so much more gameplay loops to people. Like people would be like, "I'm gonna wait for this Saturday for this intense level 1,000 plus on level 1,000 plus TO match." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it gives everyone something to do, and I think a lot of these Discord servers that host themselves are doing an amazing job in making these events. But I think it just needs to it needs to get out more.
Yeah.
I feel like if everyone knew about these events, the community as a whole would not only like come together, it would grow immensely.
Yeah.
A lot of these like level 50 unders are just like they think this is it. This is all we got. We just go into TO, bust heads, and hope for the best. But that's not the only thing. There's things to capitalize on, like your skill, or like if you want to play competitive, there is a competitive scene not set by Torn Banner. Um, I think it's awesome, honestly. That's just my input on it, though.
I was gonna ask, what do you think about this front lines thing? The Spartan guy who made the front lines, because I noticed he's been doing a lot of these things, post him in multiple servers, getting shit going. I think it's honestly great for the community because he's getting people that I've never seen before playing in things, people I've never met before, which all around just I think it's going really well. Because I know when he started it, like the MFL stopped actually happening. So his weekly events, like giant LTSs, were just popping off. Lobbies were getting stacked. Everybody was there. I think he's doing a hell of a good job, honestly. I want to see
he's the
y'all's
GOAT.
input on it.
He's the
He's the
GOAT.
goat.
Colombia numero uno.
Okay, so as for front lines, I think not even just front lines, I think any community run Discord that is making these events, good on them. Uh, very good on them, and I think they're all doing a great job. Even if some of these Discords, like for example, Rabbit's fighting pit that does events like once in a blue moon, I even think he's still contributing in a way, um,
Yeah.
in a way better form than Torn Banner is at all when
Yeah.
it comes to the community. So good on them. Wish I could
When
do that, but I'd have like no time.
when is the last time Torn Banner actually hosted an event?
They've never hosted an event for Chivalry 2.
I
They've
didn't they
never hosted one? Are you shitting
Never,
me?
never
never,
hosted one, but did they
never.
did they have a prize pool for one?
Yeah, they
They
have.
they gave Tournament Grounds some money for the Trial by Blood prize pool.
So they've
Yes, the
never.
first one.
The first and the second one, I think.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, they
I don't know
they
how
didn't run the
much.
events, but they.
I don't know how much, but I know that they gave them some money for the prize pool. This was very early on in the game's life, but they've never hosted an event ever,
Damn.
and they never will.
They never will? Okay. What do you. Why do you think that is? Because, I mean, don't they, from what I've seen, is they censor the community a lot, like over on Reddit or Twitter or in their actual Discord. I see a lot of censorship. I mean, I might be speaking on this wrong. I'm not in those Discords that or not on those sites regularly, but from what I've heard is that they censorship a lot, and there's a topic I can't talk about. But uh, do you think they should step up their game and actually host something? Because I feel like if Torn Banner stepped up their game, hold on, kids. So hold on. Do you think if they stepped up and like hosted, say, like a TO match, like just do you think that would bring more people together than the actual community bringing things together?
No.
No.
They might bring a few more noobs into the mix, but they're just going to stop playing right after. I still think they should do it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's like 3 years in. Like
It's kind of late.
yeah, it's totally
Kinda
late.
late.
Like it's not going to make a difference, but they should still do it. I mean, it's like it'd be awesome, right? Because you'd feel like daddy cares about you for once. But yeah, 3 years down the line, no, I don't think it's going to bring more people together than the community has. They've been doing it for years. Torn
Yeah.
Banner's doing it once, once 3 years down the line now. They're not going to get significantly more people.
Honestly, about the censorship, like, not gonna lie, I feel like with this community or any community with a game that consists of chopping people's heads off and picking it up and throwing it at people, um, I think you kind of have to have that censorship. Not gonna lie, there's a lot of shitters out there and a lot of people that need to be censored, like, for life.
Yeah.
like
No,
that
you're
they're
not wrong.
like I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
And granted, if we're talking about criticisms of Torn Banner, sure, they shouldn't be censoring. Like, I don't think you should be censoring, especially if it's constructive criticism. But a lot of the time, it's not. I feel like some of these people are saying the people that are getting censored for criticizing Torn Banner are saying like the most heinous shit, like, "Oh, I'm gonna go into the studio and take care of it myself," like the fuck, or some weird crap. Coming in hot, a little too hot. So
Do you
I
think
got
that Shiv stats should be censored?
no.
That's what I was going to talk about. That's what I was going to bring that up because I saw on Reddit they were banning people, or like completely kicking them out of the community because they were mentioning in it. Because you can track people on it. You can people that have peasant caps. You can track them and find them in game. It's kind of weird.
Um. So are they banning people that are mentioning other people's shift stats, or are they
No, they're
banning?
just mentioning it. Shift
No,
stats.
if you type the word Shiv stats in the official Discord or the Reddit, you will be muted.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
If you type the word,
how's anyone supposed to brag? Like, what if someone's like the number one archer player, and they're like,
doesn't
"Hey."
matter. You're not supposed to mention it. You're not even supposed to acknowledge its existence.
So okay, as long as you don't say shift stats, like, let's say like I am confirmed the number one archer player in.
If you say that, you probably won't get in trouble, but if you try and allude to the website in any way, shape, or form, the moderators will get angry and they will ask you to stop. And if you don't stop, you will be punished.
Mm.
Well, that sucks. Like, actually, that actually sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
I mean, I'm not like, again, my content isn't like a huge competitive like thing, but I can imagine for people that play competitive, that is that's a Debbie Downer. That sucks.
They're very backwards with their logic. They'll tell you that you're not allowed to publicize their special little helpers, but their special little helpers are allowed to wear a beacon on their head that points them out in a crowd easily. It's so weird. It's
You know what blows my mind more? Dave, do you
What?
have a peasant cap?
no.
Where's our peasant caps? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I
You're
applied for partner.
You're
Eh,
not a partner, so you're not getting a peasant cap. My peasant cap is consistently denied. So every time that I would have gotten a peasant cap, because I'm excommunicado, it goes to second place. So now, to be fair, I'm happy about that because I rather it go to second place than it not given to anyone at all. I actually had to argue with Moon Moon because those doofuses were about to just like let the peasant cap dissipate after all those competitors for the tournaments, show up and work their butt off for an 8-hour tourney. And they're like, yeah, it's gone because Dave won. Holy shit. Like, you're genuine scumbags if you do that. Thank God they didn't. But I shouldn't have to argue with them about that. But anyway, yeah, like I won't get one because I'm evil. You won't get one because you're not partner. No matter how many subscribers you get, you'll never be partner, you loser. And same to you, Goon.
Whoa.
Damn, that's heartbreaking.
I'm
Dude,
sorry, it's the truth.
Well,
Look,
okay,
you
but
can't.
like,
So
what?
even when Jen was community manager, she ghosted you. Ari's ghosting you.
No, Ari
Moon-
replied. Ari
What did he
replied.
say? What did he say? He said go apply for a partner, right?
No, he gave me.
What did he say?
Yeah, okay. Let me find it. I'll tell you the exact thing. Okay, I messaged him on January 19th. Hi Ari, welcome to the Shift 2 community because he just got in. I was wondering if you could help me with something. I applied to being a Shift 2 partner a while ago and was wondering what I could do to be a better candidate for being a Shift 2 partner. Am I not doing something right, or are my videos not appropriate? Granted, if he said it wasn't appropriate, I'd get it. I do have a lot of sex jokes and gay jokes in my videos. Not appropriate enough to be a Shift 2 partner. Should I reapply? Here's a link to my channel in case that helps in any way. Here's the nothing burger he gave me. And I remember how I said I sent that January 19th. He replied on February 2nd. Man's busy, apparently, with the non-existent Shift 2 community. Hi, Kietso. I wouldn't be able to give great advice as I haven't been caught up to speed about our partner program quite yet. It's still on my to-do list, and once I get to it, I hope to be able to help out further. I am not trying to roast Ari. I am not trying to bag him too bad. But how long is your to-do list, buddy? Like I don't like I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they have to do. I don't know what they're paying them to do. I don't imagine their to-do list is that long. And I feel like as a community manager, like you want to.
Yeah, I won't roast him. I won't roast him because we don't know what he's working on.
Exactly.
As with everything with Torn Banner, they claim he's like working on this big project, and they won't tell you any details about it until it's finished, and that's fine, right? So I won't roast him because we really don't know what he's doing, and he won't tell us what he's doing. That's a whole other problem, but whatever, right? But I can say this problem existed before Ari. Jen didn't help you out, and I know that you deserve partner more than any of the creators who don't have partner, like including myself. You deserve it more than anyone that isn't already a partner because you simply just have the most entertaining content and you have the most outreach. You have the most views out of us, and so it just doesn't make any sense. When I saw that you weren't partner, I was like, how? Like, why? Why don't you apply? And you didn't even know about it, and now they don't even care to work on it. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see how Moon Moon doesn't just instantly say, "Oh, this guy is like super popular, done."
Well, okay, but the thing is, like, with at the rate Ari's going, like, I hope they're getting him to like find the cure to cancer or something. Because damn, man, that to-do list is fucking long. I guess.
Yeah. It's been a month, and he's still working on like stuff that we don't know about and catching up. Listen, Ari, if you're watching, any one of us could inform you and catch you up in an hour. So I don't know
Dave
what you're
especially.
doing. We could catch you up on the entire history of this game in an hour, and it would not be difficult at all. They simply just don't want to do that because I don't know, it might hurt their feelings a little bit. I don't know.
And quick side note. I know I'm like a side person to this podcast, but thanks Roz for that sub and that gifted sub.
Oh, I didn't. I do need to acknowledge that. Thank you, and thank you for everybody for following. Don't say that. I didn't want to interrupt the conversations.
Kietsa, don't feel too bad. The partners that are in the partner program tell me that literally nothing happens in there.
I know, but like, I want my goddamn peasant cap.
That's true. Yeah,
I
you do
want my
deserve the cap.
I want my cap. I want that condom on my head, man. That shit. that shit looks amazing. Even though it's a slap of leather on your head. God, if I could have that on my head, bro, I'd be satisfied in life. I'd be more satisfied in life than. Oh, I can't say that. My wife's home, but I love my daughter. I just want to say that right now. But like the peasant cat would be very satisfying. That's just all I'm gonna say. That's all. So
I know you would wear it too. I
oh,
would
I'd wear
wear
the
it.
fuck out of it.
I think it looks ugly. Yeah, I wouldn't
Of
wear
course
it.
it's ugly, but like, dude,
Dave, don't you have one?
no, he said he didn't.
No.
No, you have like an actual peasant cap.
Oh yeah, dude. Look, it's right here.
I have
There
my.
you go.
Oh,
You can't call it ugly if you actually have one.
Are we supposed to be donning our outfits that we have for shift 2?
No.
Dude,
Oh, no.
I'll wear my outfit right fucking now, bro. Like I have my helmet somewhere.
Go.
I-
I don't believe you. Let me see it.
Y'all talk about something else. Let me go see if I can find my helmet real quick.
Okay. He actually fucking has a helmet. That's crazy.
I know some people are probably wondering like, what's the stab going to be like with a flail? And that would just be like, that would just be you punching. Also, Jesus Christ.
He fucking has a... I've never seen you wear that in game. Don't bullshit me.
What? What do you mean?
I've never seen you in that helmet in game.
Well, not in game, but like, hey man, I put this on when I game sometimes. Like,
Deadass.
I can't hear a fucking thing, but
I fucking
goes, man.
I
It
bet.
fucking
I bet.
goes. No,
What's the armor rating on that?
Dude, absolute dog shit. A pencil can get through it. What do you mean? No, last time I took that thing out was like I took it to the gun range to record this short for my channel, and I like plastered an archer on the target, and I just unloaded an AR into it. mind you, it was like it was like 110 degrees outside, and I was wearing like I have my like the whole suit or not suit, but like the whole like cloth and
Chain.
everything, and it was so hot. I was just sweating in that bitch, and there was like it was so hot. There's like black paint inside of it, and it was like getting on my forehead and stuff. I was like, oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was not worth that short, but it was funny.
Do you think the chivalry community could go to a medieval Renaissance festival and have a battle to the death? Not to the death, but
No.
you think that'd be
No, some of these people are crazy.
I don't leave my room.
After everything I've been hearing, man, like half of you guys are like 6 foot plus. Like, me and Ziggy wouldn't stand a goddamn chance. We'd get fucking creamed. We'd be archers in that scenario, man. Hell, and then someone's bringing an actual sword, and then what are we gonna do then? Like some of these people are they're into the game a little too much, man. I don't know.
You just got dealt a bad hand, man. That's all I can tell you.
Dealt a bad hand, bro. I got double dealt a bad hand. I got several bad hands on me. Okay, let me tell you right now. This mustache is all I got going on. That is it.
I'm 4'11".
Shut,
baby man.
You make that chair look small, Dave. Shut up.
This is a kid-sized chair.
Yeah, my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently,
Oh,
a kid
Christ.
size is 5'9" now. Apparently, Jesus Christ.
Dude, no, this is a kid-sized chair. It's made for baby men. I'm 4'11".
He's capping. He's lying so hard.
Oh my. Some other thing I want to touch up on is shit, I had a whole list. I should not be drinking this early. Some things I wanted to touch up on is I was asked by somebody about a possible getting a private server and having a battle royale mode, which I think would be kind of wonky. But what do you think about that? Like, say we put everybody on a giant ass map, and you have split weapons.
Spartan the Goat made the Shiv Royale, which was his like makeshift DIY battle royale. It was so disorganized, but it was very fun. So I say yes.
Say yes to that.
I say that'd be awesome. That'd be completely,
Well, Spartan, if you're out there, keep that shit coming, bro. I noticed a while back a player by the name of KC requested less Hippodrome servers, and I noticed there's no more Hippodrome servers. Like, I haven't seen any in months. Like, did they just take it out because the community didn't like them?
So the Hippodrome servers were for the purpose of dueling on horseback. Nobody wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So the servers were filled with people who just use the horses to random, and it's a lot harder to kill a cavalry randomer than it is to kill a normal randomer.
Yeah.
So the servers ended up just dying.
I
The map was
completely
also
forgot.
really bad for duels because it was so long, so you'd have to run so far after dying.
I
True.
completely forgot that map was a thing. I'm so sorry. Like, dude, that thing, like, it was fun for like maybe like 10 minutes, and then you're like, okay, these horses suck. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like that's one of those things where I'm talking about where they're working on stuff that like no, like Dave was talking about too, that no one's wants. Like, who here wanted a Hippodrome map where it's basically just horseback combat only?
Hippodrome plays like a map that a modder would have made.
Exactly.
He like
Exactly.
took all the assets from the Sonojan maps and then he made like a custom map with it, and it's like, yeah, this is cool. This looks like the Hippodrome in real life.
But
All right,
yeah, but
onto gaming.
yeah, but like as a developer standpoint or as a community, like imagine I think it wasn't its own update. And like we when they were coming out
Yeah,
with
it
it,
was.
right? When they're coming out with it, they're like, "Yeah, we got this nice map coming out, the Hippodrome." We're like, "Oh, I wonder if it's gonna be like Coliseum combat." No, there's fucking horses in there. And then it was just like a big turd sandwich that was polished a little bit, just dropped onto us, saying, "Hey, here you go. Good luck for the next 6 months." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, what is that? Like, holy hell!
David, do you think they'll bring back South Central dueling servers?
No, I don't think they're going to touch the server scene until private servers come out. I don't think they're going to do any of that. They're basically just going to be like, well, you don't need them. You could host your own. Just pay $35 a month.
Is it a good price range? You think? Is that what you think it is? Do you have any insight on what the
Nah,
price will be?
I can't say anything on prices, to be honest with you. We really don't know what it will be. I can tell you a range might be 20 to 80, something like
20
that
to 80?
There's gonna be
monthly.
prices
Yeah,
on these private servers. You can't like
yeah.
you can't just
Make one.
host.
I mean, I'll defend Torn Banner on that. That's pretty standard for the gaming
Well,
industry.
I know that, but like to like you can't just like port forward a server.
Oh, you mean can you host your own? No, no, they're not that nice. They didn't release the server.
What?
No, they're not releasing the server software. They're going with the company and making an exclusivity agreement with Nitrado. So Nitrado will be the only place to get the
What
servers.
a fucking Nitrado, bro.
Do you think? Okay. Are the servers like? Is it going to be like a weekly price, like $80 for a 1 week private server, or is it going to be like you pay
Monthly.
80 bucks
No, yeah.
monthly?
How Nitrado works is you pay for to have the server for like month to month, and you also pay for a capacity such as like
Okay.
and what that is you're paying for like what's it called? Not, is it RAM? Is it data? You're paying for like data to like
Sometimes it's RAM.
yeah
Sometimes
or other times it's raw capacity, but typically I see you're paying for RAM for your server.
There's this
I
argument
didn't
in
know
chat
that.
right now about which mustache they prefer, Dave's or Kietzo's. Which mustache has more definition, y'all think?
Dave's
Dave?
got a fucking bush underneath his nose. Okay, he's got a light brown bush. It's very intimidating. I don't know what he's hiding under there. It might be some corn left over. It might be some crumbs for later. I don't know. It's a beautiful mustache.
it's a flavor saver.
Oh,
Flavor
easily,
saver.
easily.
There you go. Do you think the competitive community is killing the casual community?
To an extent, but no.
No, because
No.
anytime we host any kind of event, like for a match or something, the casual players are getting booted out in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so yeah, I think the competitive community exists at the expense of the sorry, the competitive community exists at the expense of the casuals, but it's not their fault. They have no choice. So obviously they boot randoms out of their lobbies to conduct their matches. Simply just expected. We tell them that we have to do this, and no one is proud of it. And the punishment is lenient, so it will continue to happen. And the punishment is lenient because they know better than to punish us for doing stuff like that. It's, we have no choice. Then there's, I would say that other games kill the casual community more than the competitive community does.
Yeah.
New game gets released, boom, cut like 10% off the concurrent players and let them go play that. And that just keeps happening like every few months with a new game. I mean, I've seen most of the the Chivalry players playing Helldivers. So
I am false suit to that. That is a game. It is pretty
exactly.
fun.
And they were probably, and most of them were playing Lethal Company when that came out, and most of them were playing Baldur's Gate when that came out, and so
Yeah,
on and so on. And every time that happens, some of them don't come back.
that is true.
So that, it just slowly chips away at that casual base, to where we have nothing left. I think the concurrent player count's like 3,000 now, or a little bit lower.
Damn, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Shit, that's like
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
3,000.
The concurrent player count, I think, is at like 3,000 last time I checked on Shiv Stats.
That's gonna go away. If what I'm saying is
It's really bad.
if Elden Ring drops that new DLC, bro, it's done. I'm sorry.
Shadow of Erdtree? Yeah.
It's gone. I'm leaving too, bro.
It's really bad, man. It's really bad. It's super, super bad, and I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah. We as a competitive community, we don't do anything to the casuals. We try and get private servers instead of kicking them out of public lobbies. But fun fact, you can't request a private server for a private event. Private servers are only requestable for a public event.
I noticed that when I requested a private server, this is only for public. I'm like, bro. Then y'all can't get butthurt if we boot these fuckers out.
So they basically force you to boot noobs out. Also, you can't type to them. We would love to type to them, hey, please enter spectator mode. We're in the middle of a match. We'll be done shortly. But most of the time when we type that, they can't read it because console players don't have text chat. So
why is that? Why can't they see that shit? Like
I don't know. Another torn bannerism. So
like,
and there's no voice chat. So obviously we can't talk to them and tell them that. It's just we're screwed on all fronts.
And because I know in like other games, like in Warzone, even the console players can see chat. They can see, like, when you load into a game, you can see everybody typing something. And like, that's what I'm trying. Is it that difficult to set something up like that?
I don't know, but all I know is that it's not there, and so the console players get vote kicked every single time, and it will never stop. Honestly, I don't even see it stopping once private servers release, because private servers will be fairly expensive, and not everybody's going to be able to afford them, especially justifying the purchase of them on a $5 game. And they're going to just keep using public servers and booting people out. And
Shiv's $5.
I got this game for
G2A.
free. I'm not even gonna say.
I saw the Kings edition on Humble Bundle for like $8.
I got this game for free. I can't really say anything about it.
By the way, Kietsu, the way that you can see if a game's actually like going to succeed or continuing to succeed is check the G2A price of the game, because the price correlates with the demand, right? Supply and demand, very easy. So when the price of Chivalry 2 keys keeps dropping down and down and down and down, and the price of a key is lower than any sale that Chivalry 2 has ever had, that tells you what you need to know.
Oh God, that's my issue. Okay, this is gonna tie into my content creation process too when I make YouTube videos. They make it hard to make videos on this game, and not because it's a bad game. It's not. It's just there's only so much you can do. And the fact that the content's releasing so like spread out, it's like you eventually, since we're talking about like a game dropping in demand, eventually I have to move to greener pastures, man. Like I can't keep making videos on Chivalry 2 without thinking about I could be making a video on Renown when that releases, or I could make a video on Blight Survival if that releases ever, which by the way I don't think. I think I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I don't think Blight Survival is going to release anytime soon.
The day before.
Yeah, another day before, I think.
I played Renown. Renown seemed good. It just because I remember everybody talking about, like, all the clans, like, hey, we're gonna move over to Renown, we're gonna build castles and have like conquest fights. I'm like, that would be sick as fuck, but nobody did it.
Well, it's
not done.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, okay, a lot more people would do it if they let us like record the alpha, but you have to get permission to make footage of the alpha, the beta, and everything. Like eventually, I think they're getting closer to full like a Steam release, early access release. They made an announcement recently, but until then, I'm not playing the game because I can only I only have so much time to play and record things at the same
Yeah.
time. I can't afford to just play it without making something out of it. So
Yeah, we can do that right quick. Anybody have any questions in the chat they want to ask everybody? What do y'all have about the update release date? When do y'all think that's gonna happen? The next big update, or the next like minor one that brings a weapon into the game? Because I feel like the weapon ones are usually the big ones, and then the maps are small ones. Because the maps, when the maps first released, like Monocrux, you could glitch the fuck out of it and win it.
The next update's probably going to be at the end of March.
End of March.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's 2.10.
The audio's borked.
Yeah,
Uh,
2.10. Golden Dog,
Let me see.
dual yard map.
Hello.
You know.
I don't think even then like it's again goes back
Alright.
to the rate at
Hello,
which they're
hello?
releasing
Oh.
it. So it's kind of slow. I mean,
I've said it before, Kietsu. They're not quick enough, and they don't have enough manpower to
Alright.
justify the Fortnite model. So what they should do is just focus on making their game better. Like if you told me you have two options, either try and release a shit ton of maps or add ranked and mod support and private servers, and you told me that both were impossible, I'm still going to pursue the second one.
yeah,
Why wouldn't I?
that makes
What's y'all's opinion on the communication between Torn Bandit and the community itself?
Dog shit.
Dog, yeah. Come on.
Dog shit?
Is that a question? This is.
It-
I think that was a bait for.
Yeah, no, they're
Uh.
totally whatever the opposite of transparent is, opaque. I don't know. That's them. They wrote down that they're trying to like build back up lines of communication. They were never there in the first place. Ever since
Yeah.
release, they have
Ye-
completely cut us off.
I don't like see that's another thing. Like again, not bagging Ari himself, but like, what is the point of hiring and paying a community manager? They don't talk to anybody. Like
I don't know. I don't
like
know. Just like look, they are incredibly corporate, Kietsu, and like every corporation, it has a ton of roles that are completely unnecessary and superfluous. So Ari is sitting there as the glorified content creator slash face of the company, somebody to yell at, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't do anything. Maybe he'll do something in the future, but at the moment he hasn't done anything.
Okay, my conspiracy theory is that they didn't hire him to actually manage the community. They hired him to take shit whenever something happens, and he's just like the scapegoat. Like that's
an expensive target.
That is, yeah, expensive target. But Torban would be like, hey, that's on you, buddy. We don't have to do shit. Like you do your thing.
Yeah.
Manage this shit. You know.
Do y'all think exploits such as the dodge canceling, do y'all think that should be allowed in combat?
It's not an exploit.
It's not an exploit?
Dodge canceling isn't an exploit, no. You can dodge cancel recovery. It is what it is. It's a video game feature.
But okay, yeah, I don't think it's an exploit. I think it's just getting to know your mechanics better. Personally,
yeah, it's not an exploit at all.
I love it. I love using it, and Dave hates it when I use it because it associates itself with the doomer dodge sometimes, or what do you call it, short dodge.
Yeah, I don't like the doomer dodge. I like
you should
dodge
make a video on
canceling.
it.
I'm in the process of it. I don't like the doomer dodge. I like dodge canceling. I don't like the doomer dodge.
Dave, someone has a question for you. They said the way I heard the next update was coming with the solar eclipse. What do you think about this? The next big update is coming with the solar eclipse.
Think that they're organized?
I don't know when the solar eclipse is, but they definitely would never give a date on an update. So, like, I don't know if you noticed, they never give dates on any updates, and then they're like 2 days before, they're like, the update's coming out this day, and then they just drop it whenever they think it's ready.
I think it's because they don't want to disappoint. You know, so
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll defend them on that. That's good. If they don't want to give dates, bro, you be my guest.
Yeah,
take as much time as you need.
The Bridgetown update, was it Bridgetown or Montcrux? I forgot, but they're like, oh, it's coming out in summer, August, October, and then what it released in November, or October, I forgot, but
I don't
Yes,
remember.
that's why I don't think they should give dates. I genuinely support their decisions to not give dates, because if it helps them feel more confident when they release something that it won't be broken, then I'm fine with that. I actually don't care about delays at all.
One thing I wanted to touch up on was the passive aggressiveness from the actual mods themselves. Like, because I know there's not a lot of mods.
Ooh.
Don't forget the devs.
The devs too, but like when you request when you go through the process of requesting a server or requesting a mod, they come off passive aggressive. I might get hate for this, but they come off like hella like just
Oh no, you're right. They make it a
like
living hell to get a server. They
yeah,
genuinely make it as difficult as humanly possible, and genuinely proven goons. They come up with rules on the spot to
dude,
make
fucking
to
for real.
yes to make it harder for you. They come up with random rules on the spot just because they feel like it. I'm not joking. It's so stupid.
Do you know? I think I know why. It's
Why?
because okay. Think about it this way. It's like getting them to do something at all. You are making them like think about it, right? Let's say hey, you're a mod now. You have to do this whenever someone requests it or like handle this. Hey, cool. You get that role and you're like, oh, awesome. I have the power now. Uh, that was the
Now you
whole
gotta do shit.
goal. Yeah, no. That was the whole goal, just to have the power. Now the responsibilities, you're like, I don't know. I'm kind of. It's a Sunday, man. I'm kind of spending my time out with Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like they don't want to do it, and that's because they wanted the power. They didn't want they didn't want to fill the role. If I requested a server, I think I've done it once. I'm never doing it again. And that's because I felt like a dirty slut after. Like they literally just like, why are you asking me for a server, you nasty fuck? Like, like you
Like I
disgusting
said,
piece of shit.
it's
You
a
fucking inferior fuck.
self-fulfilling prophecy. They make it an absolute dreadful experience to get a server. People won't be getting servers. It's not that hard to understand.
The other day at the MFL, no, I don't know what mods were there, but the actual dev Sir Connect had to show up and help change the map. Like, what
Because
was
all the mods are quitting. Because the work environment at Torn Banner is toxic, and they made all the mods quit because it's unenjoyable for the moderators.
Well, okay, but
Fact,
the
not
mods,
opinion.
the mods don't do anything though. Like they don't. So
They
like what?
did. They did. There was Weaponized Funk. There was Kate. There was Shovel Girl. There was a few of them that actually did do something, even if it was only 5%. Those 5% of mods that did all the work left because they didn't enjoy doing it anymore, and they were actually getting trash talked by their head moderators and the developers. It was
Oh
genuinely
shit.
so unenjoyable. You can ask all the moderators; they'll tell you their horror stories, right? Of working for Torn Banner. It's disgusting. So Torn Banner should be ashamed. Head moderator Yurik should be ashamed. And yeah, pretty much anybody involved in that absolutely toxic, disgusting environment should be ashamed.
Pretty
Okay.
bad.
Okay. And
We're gonna
I
get
gave them so much. Yeah, probably. I gave them so much shit for not doing a fucking thing, and I never considered like what the fuck they dealt with. And I understand that's like shitty of me, but if there's 12 of y'all or 8 of y'all, I figured one of y'all can take a little time out of your day, just give me a private
Yeah,
server
that's the
to
problem.
moderate.
It's like it's not like they all like are sharing responsibility and like all of them are doing one thing every once in a while. It's like the one or two of them or three of them that do all the work, and then the other rest of the mods do nothing.
Do you think they should add any more mods? Because I mean, I feel like there's some people that out
Obviously.
there.
Yeah,
I feel
obviously.
like there's people that wants to do it, but they just don't want to give them the fucking chance. Because
Heard from the
I
grapevine that head moderator Yurik doesn't let anybody become a moderator, so fuck that guy.
damn.
I mean, obviously, I don't know if it's completely truthful, but I have heard that Mr. Yurik does not allow anyone. So, I mean, we don't know what it is, but no moderators are being added, and we don't know why. And even the moderators who did get added that I personally knew, they said it took like half a year to get into the moderator like program, and then like another half a year to even get permissions to actually help the player base set up lobbies and stuff. So, if it's that strict when we have literally zero moderators. Europe has zero. Australia has like one. NA has zero. No one has any moderators, and they're still not letting them in. So there has to be a bad apple somewhere, and it's either the dev or the head mod. So I'll just give Torn Banner a give me and say that it's the head mod, but it could be them.
Sure. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I gotta do something real quick.
Go ahead,
Apologize.
Kietso, start yapping. You got to take the mic from me.
Okay, this is for Kietso. Thoughts on Dave monopolizing the Shift 2 coaching business? Wow, what a dick.
They said I monopolized the coaching business.
Yeah, you can keep that, man. I'm a horrible teacher. Like I can teach you how to fuck it up.
I'll
but-
say it. I monopolized the coaching business on Chivalry 2. And the unfortunate reality is that nobody actually wants to coach people.
Sorry about that.
It's hard.
Yeah, they don't want to coach people. And I started charging for it because there's actually that many people to coach that it doesn't make sense to do it for free anymore because it was taking too much time. So, like, I mean, I coach, let's say 5, 10 hours a week. And like that might not sound like a lot, but it's enough to make everyone else quit. So yeah, I monopolized it because nobody else wants to do it.
I just can't imagine. Okay, I love helping people, but coaching in this game, like I wouldn't have the patience. Like if you were telling
It's
someone
not that
to
hard,
no, but like some people don't land their counters, like we were talking about before,
dude. I've,
and well, what I'm saying is like if let's say Dave is like, yeah, just counter this real quick, does it simple as not even drag slash, just slashing, and it takes the man like 10 times to actually counter a single slash. I would just be like, hey man, I here's your refund. You're cooked. Like, there's no way, dude. Sorry, bud. Like, you're fucked.
I've coached what you would consider the most hopeless person possible,
Okay.
and we still find a way. I've coached people in their 70s.
when there was a server called the Shiv Academy. I coached a lot of new players that didn't know shit, and my form of teaching is pretty much just I'm gonna beat the shit out of you until you figure out what the fuck you're doing. I'll tell them how to counter, tell them how to, dodge, tell them all this shit. But the main thing is I'm gonna beat the shit out of you until you figure it out.
The Chivalry Academy is a perfect idea. That server was literally made with the sole purpose of pairing up coaches with students, and it still failed because the students would come in there, ping the coach role, and none of them would reply. All of the
Dude,
people
true,
that determined that they
true.
would be a coach never replied. So then obviously the student has no one to coach them. So as
Yeah.
much as people don't like paid coaching, they don't want to coach. And no one else wants to coach. So obviously there's the monopoly.
I I think anybody that's watching this needs to understand that the only reason this game is still alive is because of them in the community, such as being in this Twitch stream, being in those events, helping each other out. And if you want to build that community up, and granted, it could be a small growth. Doesn't matter how small it is; it's growth regardless. Keep it up. Keep doing your thing. I would say try not being. Come on, like the Shift 2 community sometimes like is stupid toxic. Let's just tone it down a little bit, just so these new players don't get that shit burger off the rip. Let's just keep the community growing. I love everybody that helps with that. So that's just I don't think it's emphasized enough how much, or I don't think it's brought to light on how much a lot of these community run discords and events are helping the games community. So
Dave, before we cut this short, it's almost 2 o'clock. I did say it was going to be about an hour and 2 hours. So, um, is there anything you want to touch up on? You want to let the community know anything you think they need to know, or anything you want to keep away from them that you think they don't need to know about?
Despite as much shit that we talk, it's the best game of its kind. And that's why I will continue to play it, regardless of how terrible the studio is. And I love the game. I love the game and I love its players. Um, I don't dislike anybody in this community, really. It's extremely enjoyable to play this game. Um, I saw Kietzo's face over there. I should say, excluding the devs and excluding the devs. I'll continue to be a part of this community, and I want as many people to play it as possible so they can find enjoyment in the same thing that I find enjoyment in, because that's how it is, right? You want to share what you love with people.
Yeah.
And I do hope that the game grows despite its flaws. And I encourage people to continue playing it and to enter the more hardcore scene. We say the competitive scene, but really, the majority of us are just hardcore players, people who enjoy playing it as their main game.
Yeah.
And that's just what I love.
One thing I've noticed recently, and I love it because he's doing it, are these cash bounties on players, like $55 for a motherfucker, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm coming after that ass. I've been seeing that all around people with like $25 bounties, $10 bounties. I'm like, bro,
I wanted to collect that step bow bounty so bad. Where it said you needed to heavy teabag him 5 times to get the $40 bounty. I wanted that so bad.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Heavy teabag? Is that what
It wrote down on the bounty board that you needed to heavy teabag him. I don't know what that means. I guess you gotta bury it, but
Yeah.
Hey, put a bounty on me. Heavy teabag my face, I'll pay.
what?
Yo.
Yo.
So I have to wait till private servers are out to get that bounty on Stepbo.
Oh, I'm gonna do another one of these next Saturday. Probably next. Yeah, I'll shoot for next Saturday. If y'all want to come back on, I'm gonna try to get other people. But if y'all want to do it again, y'all are more than welcome to come. This is a pure pilot episode. It's nothing set in stone, but this is pretty much what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Maybe some other topics will be talked about. But if that's it for y'all, that's it for me, and I think we'll call it here.
All right,
That was a pretty good one.
Goonz, thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.
Dave, it's always good to talk to you.
Likewise.
But all right.
Alrighty, gentlemen.